everyone. Welcome to HAA's Expert Exchange, where we address real questions with expert answers. My name is Morgan Taylor. I'm the editor of Abode magazine here at HAA, and I am your moderator today with our host, Gina Irwin. Today is Tuesday, July 28th, and today's topic is our supply chain outlook. Before I turn it over to Gina, I'm going to review some housekeeping items. For our audience today, please ask any questions you may have in the Zoom chat box or in the comments via Facebook Live if that's where you're joining us today. Once we get through the questions that we curated, we will get to your questions. Also, this is a micro webinar, so we're going to try to keep this session to our 30-minute time frame. A quick disclaimer, we are not public health experts nor attorneys. This webinar is provided for general information purposes only and does not constitute legal or professional advice. No member should act on the basis of any material contained in the webinar without obtaining proper legal or other professional advice specific to their situation. Please consult with your management company or property owner to address specific issues and to form your own company guidelines. With that, I'll turn it over to our host, Gina.
Thank you, Morgan. As always, I appreciate the introduction. I'm Gina Irwin. I'm with GWR Management Company. Today, as Morgan said, we're talking about shortages in the supply chain, and we have Kory Davis with us. Kory is the Senior Director of National Accounts for Lowe's Pro Maintenance Supply Headquarters with over 26 years of sales, marketing, and management experience. Lowe's Pro MSH is part of Lowe's Companies, Inc., a Fortune 50 company with over $71 billion in annual revenue. Kory oversees the national account team, whose primary responsibility is establishing national pricing structures for both MRO and renovation projects. Previously, Kory was the Director of Sales and Marketing in the education industry, and he is a proud graduate of Texas A&amp University, as most Aggies are. Thanks for joining us. I'm so happy to see you again.
Yeah, good to see you all. Thanks for having me. I really appreciate it. So hope everybody out there is staying well, for sure.
Thank you very much. Well, let's get right to it. So shortages in the supply chain. When this first started, you know, the two hot commodities were masks and hand sanitizers. It seems to have shifted a bit, and now that we've kind of moved on down the road a little bit, can you talk about what products and materials and supplies are in short supply in specific multifamily?
Yeah, absolutely. So hottest topic in the industry right now is appliances. There is absolutely a supply chain disruption with appliances caused by several things. You know, COVID, obviously, big part of it. Several plants shut down, manufacturing plants. The whole country of Mexico was shut down for a while, right? We weren't able to get product out of Mexico. So that happened many weeks ago, but now you're just seeing the disruption in the chain as those products, you know, that were already on the way got here. The ones that were being built were never built. And so yes, absolutely. Appliances, number one. Goodman HVAC, probably number two on everybody's mind. There's definitely a problem there that we can get into. And then you touched on PPE. You know, definitely want to talk about a few products that are still out there lingering that we're having trouble getting our hands on, when we might expect to have those back in. So definitely want to touch on that today as well. So.
Okay, perfect. So let's kind of hone in on appliances. Why the disruption, and short of sending us to another supplier, which I'm sure you don't want to do, what options?
Yeah, so the good or bad news is every supplier is having the same problem. So it doesn't matter if you're going to one of the big MRO suppliers, if you're trying to run out to retail, Lowe's and Home Depot, you're going to have the same issues with appliances. They are hard to find. So here is my advice. Number one, if you're looking for a certain product, so let's just take an 18 cubic foot refrigerator. You always buy GE, and you always buy a white GE refrigerator. You may be forced to move to another brand, and most suppliers have 4 to 5 brands available. So think Amana, Whirlpool, Hotpoint, Frigidaire. You know, you might have to step out of your comfort zone and go with another one of those products, or you might just need to move to a different color or a different. Almost every supplier on refrigerators, let's say, I might have 25 different options in refrigerators. It's just I may not have that specific color and size and brand you need, but if you're comfortable, I'm certain I can find you a solution if you're just a little bit flexible in moving to a different product. So that would be my number one advice. Call your rep, call your national account manager at your supplier, and have them go through their full supply and find a solution for you. The solutions are out there. You just have to be willing to be a little bit flexible to find it.
Okay, flexible. Those of us in the apartment industry are professionals at that. Okay. Okay, let's hone in on HVAC now, because it seems that there's delivery issues and what are some short-term solutions for the HVAC problems now too, and why?
Yeah, I'm sorry. One comment about appliances before we move on that I forgot to mention. If you are not flexible and you cannot wait and you have to have this product in this size and this color, you need to plan for a 4 to 6 week lead time to get that product. So if your supplier doesn't have the quantity you need right now, again, 4 to 6 weeks, you're going to have to wait. And that is standard across the industry. So keep that in mind. So if you know 6 weeks out, hey, I'm going to replace 10 refrigerators, I got to have this brand, this size, this color, call your supplier right now and put that order in. And in 4 to 6 weeks, hopefully we'll have it. Okay. Moving on to HVAC. So really the big issue right now is just with one supplier. It's Goodman. Right here, hometown, Houston, Texas, is their facility. And if you read any of the news, you saw their entire plant was shut down for a couple weeks. And so again, they got behind. You didn't immediately see that disruption, right? All of the suppliers had product. So you're just now seeing the problem hit the industry if you are Goodman specific. And it's going to happen with others. Every facility out there probably has had some type of COVID disruption. Somebody got sick, they had to close the plant for the day, clear everybody out, sanitize the facility, and then open it back up. But even a one-day disruption causes a blip in the industry, right? So again, several things that suppliers have done, and I can only talk about my own company, but many suppliers planned ahead for COVID. So back in March, when we first heard about what was going on and thought about what could happen down the road, we brought in millions of dollars extra inventory to support multifamily. So you're going to find a lot of suppliers that do have a lot of product on hand, and they're going to be able to help you right now. Once they run out, again, even with HVAC, talk to your sales rep, your national account manager. There are solutions out there. You just may have to be comfortable either moving to a different brand, or maybe you're going to mix brands. So maybe you're getting that Goodman condensing unit, but a First Company air handler on the inside. We can find you a solution, but you just need to be a little bit flexible during this disruption. And as far as timing goes, I would just say, you know, we got to plan ahead at least 4 weeks. So if you have a big job coming up, you're stuck on one product that you have to have, you definitely need to plan ahead. And by planning ahead, that means you really need to place your orders so that we can get our order into the manufacturers and get in line to get that product. Okay.
Okay, that's very helpful. And that's twice now that you've used flexible. So everybody pay attention, be flexible.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Okay, let's shift away from appliances and talk about what are the most popular multifamily products right now for public health and safety. I know there's lots of new stuff out there because we're getting emails from everybody.
Yeah, for sure. And I'm sure the entire industry has been inundated with different products, you know, different disinfectants, different types of masks that you can get, you know, even, you know, aerosol sprays, right? Different brands. So I want to start with Lysol because that one has been out publicly promoted as helping kill COVID, the virus. So very popular item right now. Unfortunately, extremely hard to find Lysol in an aerosol spray. I think suppliers will continue to battle that. A lot of these products, it started with the N95 mask, right? A lot of these products were diverted to healthcare. Healthcare gets the priority on all those products. If there's extra, then the rest of the suppliers get their product in hand. But everything is, being diverted to healthcare first. So that's why you see these disruptions in PPE. I will say most suppliers, though, at this point, we have options for masks. We have many options for disinfectants. We have some wipes, which are very hard to find right now. But if you need the name brands, Clorox wipes, Lysol, those are going to be a little bit harder to find. Again, I'll say it again, you got to be a little bit flexible in what you're buying. And if you're flexible, again, your rep, your national account managers, they can find a solution for you. As it relates to PPE and as we open these public spaces again, I know the gyms, the offices, that's kind of on everybody's mind. How do we move to hands-free environment? Again, unfortunately, you're going to see a disruption in gym wipes. Those are extremely hard to find right now. A hands-free towel dispenser might be hard to find. Even hand soap is still a challenge right now. Again, if you're okay not getting Dial brand, if you're okay getting an off brand of soap, suppliers have that. You just need to ask, really. So if you go online and you see we're sold out of Dial soap, please call us and we can find a solution for you. It's just not going to be in that brand.
So can we go back to the Lysol for just a second? I mean, everybody in the world knows what Lysol is. And truthfully, I think COVID's been on the back of Lysol cans for quite some time, maybe not COVID-19. But you just mentioned, this is sort of like the generic brands. Does it have the same impact? Is it equally as safe, even though it's not necessarily Lysol labeled?
It does. They're all made with the same ingredients. Same thing with disinfectants, right? I mean, I'm certain that you all have been hit with 10, 20, 30 different disinfectants you can use. They all work, but again, if you're in doubt, get with the experts. That's your sales reps, your national account managers. They can answer any questions for you. They can provide the cut sheets on these products. And they will give you all the ingredients. It will list there if they are proven to take care of COVID. So, just ask the questions and we can provide you with all the information to prove that these products work. Gina, to that point too, how do we apply these products? That's been a hot topic. What do the tools look like, to spray disinfectant, that you need to put in a machine. So if you get liquid disinfectant, there are plenty of applicators out there. As long as they can handle a liquid substance, again, your suppliers are going to have sources for those applicators. You just need to contact them. A lot of us are bringing in so many new PPE products that you can't even see them on our website yet, right? It takes us a few weeks to get them in, get pictures loaded, get them up on our website. So just because you can't see it, call us, because we probably already have it. We just haven't had time to get it up on our website or, even in third-party systems, Ops, Yardi, Nexus. You may not see it there yet, but I bet we have it and can take care of it.
Okay, well, you tell your salespeople to hold on because their phones are about to start blowing up, especially if it's not out there on our regular systems yet. What products are being used specifically for amenities in common areas? Can you dial in on that just a little bit?
Yeah, definitely hands-free, right? I mean, that was early on. Companies reached out to us. What do you have? I want a full list of everything you have hands-free. So soap dispensers, paper towel dispensers, hands-free door openers, So think of handles that you can hook your elbow around, or a foot door opener, if you will. Those have been very popular. Hands-free faucets, that's something that we have sold very little of in the past. And there's been a ton of interest around hands-free faucets in those common areas. And I think even moving into some apartments for renovations, you know, those will become more popular. Any way where people don't have to touch so much stuff, you know, is becoming popular. But I would definitely say in the common areas, you know, the items that I listed are the #1 items right now in those areas.
Okay. And are there shortages on any of those supplies that you've talked about? I mean, hand sanitizers, wipes, you know, they tend to disappear if we put them out and they're hard to come by. Is there any shortages, and why?
Yeah, so hand sanitizers, we have plenty. I believe at this point, every supplier should have more than enough hand sanitizer to support the industry. We caught up really quick on that. That was one of the first shortages, and people overproduced and we overbought. So we have tons of hand sanitizer. Hand soap as well. But again, hand sanitizer and hand soap, you're not going to find Purell. You're not going to find Dial. You're going to need to step out of your comfort zone on those brands and be willing to accept another brand that you know, are proven brands out there in the industry. You just may not be accustomed to seeing them out in retail, but they're out there. So, you know, those are available. But I will say that hands-free towel dispenser seems to be still a bit of an issue. Gym wipes, absolutely an issue for us. You know, I don't know about other suppliers, but I will say that's a hard one to find. We mentioned Lysol. Extremely difficult to get your hands on. Clorox products are starting to appear slowly. So even sprays, wipes. But if you want Clorox brand, that one seems to be a little bit easier to get your hands on. And again, ask us. That's the best thing you can do. If you're in need of any product, let us look through our entire list and we will find something that will work for you.
Okay, one last question before I turn it over. I think we've kind of blown through most of the questions we had. And you may or may not be able to answer this. How come toilet paper made it back to the shelves, but everything else is so difficult?
Yeah, you know, that's a great question. And that one has, you know, kind of been a bumpy road, you know, toilet paper and paper towels, right? The same thing. I personally am still trying to figure out why that is an issue and why people stock up on those products. I guess I'm the dummy for not doing it up front. But we have that supply. We should have plenty right now. I know, I can tell you though, if I go to my local HEB around the corner, I see that they're completely sold out again on all their paper products. So I would be cautiously optimistic on that product. It seems that has come around again as being a bit of an issue. We're fully stocked right now. I haven't heard of any issues. I don't see any issues out there in the MRO world, but knowing that I can't find it at retail makes me cautiously optimistic that, you know, we're going to have it.
Okay, and then just to circle back one last time, just to clarify, you know, sort of name brand versus generic. Even though maybe the EPA won't say, is only saying that Lysol is approved to kill COVID, are you saying, I'm not saying that you know more than the EPA, but all things considered, you know, the products are the same if people will just get over the fact that it may not be a name brand?
They are. We can supply you with the manufacturer's detailed sheets that list the ingredients, and they will list if it's approved to, you know, wipe out COVID virus. So again, ask your supplier. They can provide you with all that information that you need. If you're not quite sure or not comfortable, we can get you documentation that shows you exactly what the manufacturer is saying about that product.
Okay, perfect. Phones are going to be blowing up.
All right.
I don't think I have anything else, Morgan. Have any questions come through on Facebook?
Yeah, there are a couple of questions came through, and I have some of my own questions that I jotted down quickly as you guys were talking. So let's stay on the topic that we're currently on. Vanessa did ask on Facebook, what is an alternative to Lysol, Lysol wipes included, and that's something we keep going back to, right? The generic brands are going to be your alternatives, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure. And, you know, our brand is going to be different than, you know, another supplier's brand. But what I will tell you is suppliers should have alternatives. Everybody's going to be called something a little bit different, but definitely, you know, ask your sales rep. They're the experts out there in the field. They're the men and women going by apartment communities every day. Look for them as your resource to find these products that you're in need of.
Perfect. And you mentioned the foot door openers. That's genius. Do most supply companies have foot door openers?
We do now.
Okay.
In the past, that was not, you know, a big thing, if you will. You know, I'd seen them out there in the marketplace, but you find them from time to time. Again, that was very early, I would say in April. We started to supply those. We have a full sheet, you know, explaining them, and really they're not very expensive. It's just, you know, if you can imagine a small piece of metal basically you attach to the door, whether you want to open it with your elbow or your foot. And, you know, a great idea. It was already out there, just not popular, but it is popular now, for sure.
Yeah, definitely. I remember seeing them, you know, they're nothing new, but not as popular as they probably will become.
Right.
Now, one question I had was, so as we've moved through this pandemic, certain products have become, you know, super hard to find, and then they become easier to find, and then other things become harder to find. Do you anticipate anything in the future or in the near future becoming something hard to find?
Wow. You know, that's a really good question. You know, what I will say again is, you know, we just need to be cautious about how we answer this question, because as the pandemic rears its head again and we move into the fall, right? We move into flu season. None of us know what's going to happen in the future. You know, we don't know when the solution is going to be found to COVID. You know, is it going to be the vaccine? Is this going to taper off like some people think it is? So extremely hard to predict. But what I will tell you is, again, I can speak for our company. We are looking ahead at all products and the industry as a whole. What can we do to make sure that we have an overabundance of inventory to support our customers? You know, not saying that we're going to be perfect, right? We can have a run on an item and it's immediately sold out, you know, that we didn't predict. But we're doing our best analytics behind the scene to support the industry and trying to make sure that that product is available. Hey, one thing I just thought about when you asked me that question too, you know, a very popular item right now are the, especially for common spaces, are the dispensing units for hand gel. So, you know, whether they be on a floor stand or a dispenser attached to the wall, right? You've all seen them, battery operated. You put your hand under it, dispenses the hand sanitizer. Again, that is extremely popular as people try to open up their common areas. Again, if you're having trouble finding that product because it is so popular right now, you know, please reach out to all suppliers. That may be one you're probably going to need to call around a little bit to figure out who has it and when they're going to have it in stock.
Perfect. Thank you. That's very helpful. I know that's going to be a popular item. Well, I don't have any more questions, and we've answered all the questions people have asked over the chat and Facebook Live. So I guess we'll wrap up today.
Yeah. Okay, Kory, great seeing you as always. Thank you so much for joining us.
Yes. Thank you, Kory.
Yeah, thank you. And we look forward to getting together again as soon as we can, for sure.
Absolutely, looking forward to it. Okay, everybody, join us next week. What are we talking about? We are talking about, crime on site. And it's been a hot topic in talking with all of my friends. So join us next week, same time. Thank you all. Again, have a great week.
Thanks, everyone.
All right, goodbye. Thank you.